Hello guys, good day and welcome back to my channel. My name is Kuli. So it's been a while. So today we are going to make this Ankara shift dress with a notched collar. So this there are two ways to go about this. This can be made as a dress with a cam collar, or you can make it as if you are making a blazer that is double breasted blazer. You can make it that way with a notched collar. But here I'm just going to use cam collar because I don't have time to start drafting the blazer form. So it's just the front that has that cam collar. I don't think the rest is just your normal free kaftan dress. So this is I'll be using 3 years of Ankara for this. I'm yet to get the training, so I'll just do the cutting video. Then later I will make the sewing video when I must have gotten the combination. So I have different colors here. Isn't I'm going to use a navy blue, I'll use yellow for this. So I'm here to get it. I'm going to the market to get it, but I will post the cutting video first. Then secondly, this is a small high target, not the one they're selling for 13K or 12K. This one is around 5K or 6,000 per cc as the way you normally buy your fabric. So this is 3 years of fabric. This is a small high target and they have bigger one. So before we get started, make sure to like, share, and support by engaging. So here I'll get my starting point. I'm cutting the front first. I'll get my starting line. This is my shoulder starting line. Sorry that this place is a bit dark. There's no light. So and the noise from the generator will distract us. So if you notice, I folded in some fabric. If you notice, I folded into some fabric, an extra allowance. So I brought out 5 inches extra allowance for the overlapping. So just the way I've made a tutorial, I have a tutorial on how to cut a camp collar shirt. I have a tutorial on how to cut a camp collar shirt, which is the same, it's almost the same thing. This is my starting line, and this is the overlapping allowance. I brought out 5 inches because I want the collar part to be bold. So the next thing to do now is to get your gown length. Her gown length is 39. It's like I'm going to be lining this just to give it a little weight or something like that. So her gown length is 39. And you know that this thing is not meant to be really long. So I'm just using that exact 39 without adding any folding allowance. I'm going to line it. So this is the 39. I'll get my gown length, which is 39. So I'm getting exactly that gown. She doesn't wear something that's short. So I would have made this really, really short, but she won't like it. So I'm just getting that 39 without any folding allowance. But you can add folding allowance. Remember that you are adding something to the damp part. But I'll show you how you're going to add it. So that is my 39. So the next thing to do is to take her shoulder measurement. Her shoulder is 17 inches divided by 2. That is 8.5. 8.5. Look at the place that we're starting. Sorry. We are going to start our measurement from this folded part. From this folded part, that's where we are going to start taking our measurement. So I'll mark out 8.5, her shoulder measurement. Then I'll go down by 1 inch for her shoulder slope. The next thing is to get her armhole curve. I'm using 9 inches. Her bust is 48, so I'm using the 9 inches as her armhole curve. So I'll bring down her shoulder again just to get a straight line, just your normal way of cutting your basic bodies. So I'll get the middle of her armhole. That is that 9 divided by 2 is the middle of her armhole. I'll come in by half an inch for her armhole curve, front armhole curve. So I'm going to curve it. I hope that this is showing very well. So I'm going to curve it this way. So I'm going to curve it this way. The next thing is to take her neckline. I'm using a 3 inches neckline. 3 inches. 3 inches because she's on the big side. So the back depth is 1 inch. Then the front is 3 inches. Please, you can use 2.5 for your neck width, the depth 3. So I'm just making her own depth 3.5 instead of 3 inches because, like I said, she's big. So I'm going to curve her front neckline. The next thing is to connect the shoulder slope. So back neckline and front neckline. So this is what I have. I'm just trying to get this everything. Please, this is where you start taking your measurements from. Any measurement you are taking it from this line. So the next thing now is to take her bust measurement. Her bust is 48 divided by 4 is 12 inches. As you can see on the thumbnail, the dress is big. But I know that she wouldn't want something that is very big. So I'm adding like 3 inches to her measurement. 3 inches allowance. Because she wouldn't want something that is that big, very big. So the next thing is to get her waist location. We don't really need waist location for this. There's no waist location. But whatever I have here on her bust line, that's 15.5, I'm going to bring it down here on her waistline and minus half inch or just 1 inch. So it's just something like this. So I'll take it this way and all the way down. It does that straight. It's just straight. It doesn't have any cover. I might just take her bust down. So whatever I have on her bust line is what I'm going to have on her hemming line, 15.5. Or you can even make it 16 inches. So her down part is going to be 16 inches. And this waist of, I just removed the waist of, just needs to be straight. So this is what we have. We are not cutting the front. It's just this simple. So this is the back armhole and this the other ones. I added 3 inches so that it will be very free on her. So this is it for the front. The back doesn't have anything. So you just need to fold it and cut exactly what you have here. So it doesn't have a together sleeve, but you can make it a together sleeve if you wish. You can make it a together sleeve if you wish. So I'm going to be adding a pocket for her. So I'm thinking of making this a together sleeve for her. So I'm going to be adding a pocket for her. Two together pockets. So on this her waistline, I'm going to cover a pocket just because there's an extra allowance here. So I'm just covering out the pockets this way. So this is what I have. I'll measure the pocket wideness in case you want to do something like this. So the pocket wideness is 7.6.5. So the length determines on the fabric that you have. So this is what I have. I'm going to cut it out. So watch how I'm going to cut the pocket part. So once I get there, I'll curve it this way. So I'm cutting the back armhole. So I'll cut the shoulder slope. Then the front back neckline. Don't cut the front neckline yet. Just the back neckline. So this is what I have for the front. So I'll place it and cut exactly the same thing. Please fold in your this overlap. Fold it in. Just cut it like this. Just use it like this to cut your back. So I'll cut it, then cut the front neckline. So I'm done cutting the back, and the thing is that I did not add pocket to this back side. I'm going to just cut out a pocket because I noticed I'm running out of fabric. Like the fabric will not be enough for the sleeve, but I'll have to join it. That's the only option. So the front still has a pocket, which I'm going to now attach a pocket to the back. But if it's not enough, I'll just cut out the pocket because the one on the thumbnail doesn't even have a pocket. So this is the back. I'll place it aside. I'll place it aside, then cut the front neckline. So I've cut the front armhole. Now the front armhole. The next thing is to cut the front neckline. So here's the front neckline and everything. So I'm going to slit this thing open. I'm going to slit the overlap allowance open. Slit, don't cut, just slit it. So this is it. I'm going to notch the allowance for me to know where it started. So I'll notch this and also notch the neckline part. So this is what we'll have for the front. Like I said, I'm going to cut a lining for this. So I'll place it and cut exactly this lining. But I'm going to cut exactly this lining. Exactly, even the length and everything is going to be the same. So I'll just place it, cut exactly the same lining and show you guys even the back. Why I'm not I'll still check if I'm to add lining because this is strong. I think adding lining will make it to be very thick and rich. So I'll just consider and know. So the next thing we are going to draft is the sleeve. Is the sleeve. Like I said, I don't have enough fabric, but it's just your normal sleeve. So you just measure your armhole. So I'll measure around my armhole. So I have 16 inches. I'll place this aside. I'm going to use a lining so that I'm using a lining to draft out the sleeve first so that I'll not run shortage of material for what, yeah, just to avoid any shortage. So the sleeve length is going to be 12 inches. The sleeve length is going to be 12 inches or 13 inches. I will add depending on my distance. So 12 inches. This one is not placed very well. So the sleeve length is going to be 12 inches. I'll mark my 12 inches. So 12 inches, I'll come down by 4.5 inches for the armhole curve. Then I'm going to curve this way, just make an F. Then I'll measure that 16 inches. I'll measure to get 16 inches along this line. So here is my 16 inches. This is really big. I added extra. I might trim off the allowance. So 16, I'm going to make here I'm going to just measure here to be 12 inches. I'm just going to make it 11 inches. I might like reduce the allowance because the allowance is too much. So the sleeve length is this. So I'm adding 1 inch extra allowance for the folding. Sorry, I forgot to do that. 1 inch extra allowance. So you just leave it because we are going to turn it. So I'll just leave it on this 12 inches, then I'll cut it out. So this is it. This is what I have for the sleeve. So you just cut your sleeve, then I'll cut the lining and show you guys the next thing to do. I might still reduce 1 inch because it's looking big. I don't want her to complain that it's big on her. So I'll just make the allowance 2 inches instead of 3 inches that I added. So this is it for. So here is how you're going to attach the, is it the lapel, the color fabric. So this is what you need to do. And I've also, like I said, I was going to attach a lining to this is the one that I've attached. I'm going to show you how you can achieve this so that when you fold it, it will be like this. The red part will be showing. So I'll show you how you're going to do this. And I've also gone ahead to attach lining to the back of the dress. This is the back of the dress. So I'll place this aside then, show you how I use this. Here I'm using 1 yard for the red combination. You can just choose any color that you want. I couldn't get yellow, that's why I'm using the dark red or wine red. So what you need to do is to, this place that you brought out 5 inches allowance, we are going to cut it out. We are going to be cutting it out. So I'm going to measure, is either that 5 inches allowance or I'll measure 4.75. Not cut directly that 5 inches. So here I'm cutting at 4.75. I'm cutting at 4.75. This is the lapel line, sorry, the overlap line that will serve as the lapel line. That's what we are cutting out this 4.75 inches from. Is the one that will serve as the lapel. Why I'm cutting it out so that we can join it. I've told you that you can make this as a blazer. Just follow the process of cutting a blazer. But here I'm making it as a camp collar shirt, which will still give me something the same thing. So this is what I have. I'm going to cut it out. I've placed the lapel that I'm going to use to make sure that I have maybe the same, they are equal. So so this is mine. Just cut yours is because I've cut it out already. That's why I'm placing it to make sure that it's the same thing that I'm going to cut out. So once you have your 4.75, you cut it out. So I'm going to cut this out. Is equal to what I want. So I'm going to cut it out. Just cut it straight because you're going to still join it back. Just take your time and cut it through. Please, it's the lapel part that you're cutting out. So I've separated it. This is what I have. Once you separate it, you have something like this. So this one I'm going to join it. So you use this one now, this remaining part, and cut out a lining. That is if you're going to line it. So I'll cut out exactly the same lining as this one. I'm going to remove the pocket because it will consume a lot of material if I'm cutting it like that. So I'll just remove the pocket to attach it later. So this is what I have. I'm going to use this now and cut exactly this lining. Then what you need to do, when I cut the line, I'll show you the next thing to do. So here I'm done cutting out the lining. This is the lining. So what you are going to do now is to get this lapel. I will just let I'll be calling it lapel for you to understand. Get this lapel. That is the overlap that 5 inches that you cut out. Get it. Also get the facing. Let's use this as the facing. This is the lining and this is the facing. So you get the right side. You turn the right side of this one. The right side of your fabric. This is the right side of my fabric. You also get the right side of this lapel. Then you place it on the lining. The Ankara is the lining. Then you place it on the lining. You place it like this. So make sure that it matches. Pin the neckline. You're going to pin the neckline. So pin it. Then you just go ahead and stitch here with a straight stitch. Just run a straight stitch down. Also here, close it down. Then after doing that, I'll show you the next thing. So I'm going to use my overlocking machine to overlock it. You can just sew it straight. So in case you don't have an overlocker. So I'm just going to do that and come back to show you the next thing to do. Remember that the right side of the fabric is facing up, while the wrong side of the lining is of the facing is facing the right side of the fabric. This is the wrong side, this is the right side. So this is it. The right side will be up now because it's this part that will be showing you when you turn the collar. So this the right side of the facing is facing up, while the wrong side is facing the right side of the Ankara. So I'll just run a straight stitch and bring it back for you guys to see. So this is it. I've overlocked it. This is how it's looking. This is it. So I'll get the fabric now. This is the right side of the fabric. I'll get it. I'll get it. Remember that this is the right side now. So you get the neckline and neckline. You place it this way. You can choose to pin it. But this is what you are going to have. Just run it with a straight stitch. After that, you flip it. But before you are going to start doing that, you can decide to hold it. You can decide to hold it first before attaching the lining. Remember that the lining is only going to cover this part and this rough part. So you also get your lining. After you finish placing the lapel, this is now right side facing each other. This is the right side and this is the right side of the fabric. So right side facing each other. Right side, just run with a straight stitch. Then you get your lining. Also place it this way on top of the facing. Also place it. So you're going to join everything together and stitch with a straight stitch. So I'm just going to go and stretch it. So join it and come back and show you guys the next thing to do. Just run with a straight stitch. It. I've attached it and this is how it looks. So once you finish attaching it, you just open, push everything to the just push everything to the lining and top stitch on the line. Don't top stitch on this on the red part. Just push everything and top stitch on the line. Push everything here and just top stitch on the lining. So this is it. The next thing now is just to turn your lining, close your lining this part, then attach the shoulders, attach all the side seam. So I will attach all that and come back and show you the next thing to do. So this is how our dress is looking. I'm here to join the sides, but I've attached the sleeve. I've attached the sleeve. So the next thing to do after this now is to cover the neckline for us to create that scam collar effect. So this is what you need to do. This is where you have the fabric. This is where you have it. You now fold in this 5 inches. This is the right side. You're going to flip it like this to the wrong side. Make sure that this place is standing very well. So you this is the right side. This is the right side. So you flip it, you fold this like this. This is the wrong part now. So this is the wrong part. This is the neck collar of this dress. I have a detailed tutorial on how to make this scam collar shirt. Please, if you don't understand this one, watch it. So you flip it like this, then you're going to stitch up to 1.5 inches to 2 inches. Me, I'm using 2 inches. So from this starting point of the from this starting, you measure 2 inches. You measure 2 inches and mark it. So you go to your machine and close up from this place to this 2 inches is top. At least you close up with half inch to this, so you get to this 2 inches. So this is the way, this is how it is. Then I'll flip it to this side and mark 2 inches. I'll go to my machine now and stitch up to 2 inches here. So when you close it up, this is how it's going to look. This is how it's going to look. So I'll go and close it and come back and show you the next thing to do. So I've gone ahead to close it up and this is what I have. So once you're done closing it up, the next thing is to that place that your 2 inches stopped, you are going to notch it. So I'll get this part now. This is where my 2 inches stopped. This is where my 2 inches stopped. I will notch it. I will notch it down with up to half inch. So I'm going to that place that 2 inches stopped. I'm going to notch it. Just slit it. It's just a slit, just small slit, like up to two half inch. So just to separate it. This is what I have. You also do the same thing to the other parts. So the next thing now is to from this notch, from this place that your 2 inches stops and you notched, you are going to take your round collar measurement from this notched, from this 2.52 inches, you're going to take it all the way to the other part. So you're going to measure whatever you have. But so here I have up to 15.75. You can make it 15, it can be 15 or 16 most. So I have 15.75 here. From this point that are notched to the other point that are notched, I have to 15.75. So you also place it together to get the midpoint of your back neckline. So you place your
Once you
neckline, you
place
place all
it, you
this
are
together
going
to
to
get the
notch
midpoint.
the neckline.
So
Then
you
after
place
that, we
it.
are going to be cutting our collar. We are going to draft out the collar, which is just a simple, it's just so simple to draft it out. This is the way I'm going to fold the collar. Just get your collar, fold it into two, fold it in. I'm cutting the, because it will have a facing or a lining, so I'm cutting both the main collar and the lining together. That's why I folded it that way again. So that your 16.5, whatever you have, we divide it by 2. So whatever you got, I got 7.75. So I'll mark that 7.75. My collar divided by 2, the round neck divided by 2 is 7.75. So that 7.75 again, you're going to get it just to get the midpoint of that collar. So that is just it. So where that this thing, so where the place that the 7.75 ended, you are going to go up by half inch there, then connect it to that midpoint. The place that your 7.5 stopped, you go up by half inch, then connect it to that midpoint line. Then from that half inch line, you are now going to take your collar, the measurement of your collar, that is the wideness you want for your collar. That is what you need to do there. So I used 3 inches plus the allowance and everything for the collar. Sorry that my video stopped recording. So you just your normal way of cutting your collar. The length, the wideness is just 3 inches. So sorry guys, my phone space got filled up. I couldn't record how to attach the collar, but I have a video on how to make a camp collar shirt. It's exactly the same way. So you just cut your collar and attach it. Please watch the video. I'll link it to this. I'll link the video here so that you can go and watch how to attach the collar. It's just the same thing. So I'll just show you how you can attach the down part of the dress, and we are done, and wear it on the mannequin for you to see. Please watch.
So I've gone ahead to attach the collar. My phone space got filled up. I didn't notice and I was not attaching it. So I have a video on how to attach this, on how to make a cam collar neck line. So this is the collar. After attaching it, this is how it's going to look. So it's left for you to use your needle to hold this place so that it will stop going up or something. So you just hold it in place like this, pin it, or you can use your hemming gun. But I'm just going to tack it here. So once you finish tacking it, this is how it's going to look. So the next thing now is to attach this red part, the down part. So this is the way you're going to attach it. You know that you're going to flip it. So if you're sewing, you place this is 4 inches wide. Then the length will determine the length of your dress. So you're just going to attach it to the. You get the right side of your crepe. This is crepe. I'm using crepe. You get the right side of your crepe. Then place it this way. This is the way you're going to place it, sew it, because you're going to turn it this way. So the wrong side of the dress is going to be neat, while all the rough part will be facing this dress. So this is the rough part, but you're going to close it, so you don't need to bother about the wrong part. So when you get to this point now, this place now, when you get to this place, you just fold it in a little, fold it in so that when you turn it, it will be like this. When you turn it, it will look like this. So this is how it's going to be. Then after doing that, just run a stitch and close it. So once you finish turning it like this, sewing it around, you're going to top stitch it on the main fabric. You're going to top stitch on the main fabric. Look at it. I used red thread. So you're top stitching on the main fabric so that everything will fall. And this place will look like this. So after top stitching, you're going to start folding. Remember that the front part, you folded it like this. So you're still going to follow this folding. Then fold it in with half inch, then stitch on top stitch it. So you're going to top stitch this way around. So it's the same thing that you're going to do to the sleeve. So once you attach it like this, you're going to now top stitch on the main fabric. So this is how you're going to top stitch it run. So I'll just do that, then just close up this place. I'll do it and wear it on the mannequin for you to see. So this is I've attached my button. I have the same button as the fabric. So you go to the market, they'll help you and do this. So this is what I have. You just insert your button and you're done. So I will close it up and wear it on the mannequin for you guys to see the final look. Look at it's not even strong. So I wear it on the mannequin for I'm going to put gum so that it's very tight. So I'll wear it on the mannequin for you guys to see the final look. Thank you. Thanks for watching. Please watch the video on how to attach the camp collar neckline. I'm sorry that I didn't get that part. See you.